Happy Monday, Wholesale to Million family. Man, we're back with another subscriber first wholesale deal interview. I'm going to bring you guys another guest, all right? He's based out of Dallas, Texas, where everything's go big or go home, baby.
Go big or go home.
You guys, he just recently closed his first wholesale deal for $7,500 for driving for $1. Is that correct, bro?
That's correct, Khang.
You guys, put your hand together. Put your thumbs together. Please help me welcome Jamie. What up, brother?
What's up, guys? What's up,
dude?
fam?
It's been a crazy morning, bro. We didn't think that it was gonna snow here. We didn't think we were gonna get any snow, and all of a sudden, the snow god decided to stop by and drop some freaking snow bomb.
Well, we ain't got that problem over here in Texas.
Yeah, I know, man. Maybe that's where I should go to. But before we jump into you guys, I'm gonna have Jamie share with you guys his stories. How he got his first wholesale deal, you know, from where the lead, obviously we told you where the lead's coming from, but how he's finding his buyers and how all the deals, or how the deal went down. Those of you who recently closed your first wholesale deal, come on, man. What are you waiting for, dude? Drop me your email. Let's get you onto the channel to share your stories, your first wholesale deal. The reason why we do this is to inspire and motivate and let you guys know that you too can do it. You don't have to be special. You don't have to have a high school degree. You don't have to have the college, the high school diploma, a college degree. See how I said that all backward? That you too can do it with the willpower, the determinations, which you have it within you. So it's time to unleash that beast and freaking beast mode time, dude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Jamie, I'm fired up, dude. So let's wait. I'm going to be a little selfish. So some of you guys who haven't followed me on Instagram, hit me up on IG. Go to Khang. Khang like a period WTM. And one of my goals, you guys, for the channel by the end of 2019, it's to hit 100,000, 100K subscribers. So you haven't subscribed, come on. What are you waiting for? Smash the subscribe button. And if you do enjoy this interview, smash the thumbs up and show my guest Jamie some love. Jamie, let's go, brother.
Hey, well, first of all, Khang, I want to thank you for having me on your channel. Been a long-time follower. I appreciate everything that you throw out there for free. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you, first of all. Well, a little bit about me. I got into wholesaling, I would have to say, like in October of last year, October 2018. You know, I'm out here out of Dallas, Texas. Did the whole thing. I went to college, got a degree, started working right out of college, started working for Enterprise Rent-A-Car, which sucked. You know, I hated waking me up at 6 in the morning and had to leave every day at 7 o'clock, 14-hour shifts. Oh my, it was miserable. After that, about 2010, I started working on my own. Started the whole entrepreneur life. Started a little granite and marble countertop business. So that's what I was doing for the last 8 years. 10 years, yeah, to 2018. And that's last year, January of last year is when I discovered wholesaling. I was actually trying to get into real estate, like buying and holding properties. Flipping was my main objective, was to like, hey, I want to go flip. You know, you see all those infomercials, all those TVs, like everybody's making bank. So, man, I got to jump into this flipping game. Well, I tried to, but it was like, hold on, you need money for that. So like, I don't have no money for going into flipping right now. So I came across a video of wholesaling. I came across some videos on YouTube of wholesaling. I'm like, what is this? Wholesaling. And there was a lot of videos, and they're like, wholesaling is illegal and all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, I don't know if I should get into this wholesaling thing. But, you know, it's no capital. You don't need no money. You just need marketing and hustle. That's all you need. And I gave it a try. So actually last year I saved up some money and I did a mailing campaign in January of 2018. I sent out about $800 worth of mailings from a list that I bought off a list source for absentee owners. Did that, mailed them out. I was getting plenty of calls, but I wasn't answering them. I was scared. I was like, hold on, I don't even know what I'm going to say. Like, what am I going to tell these people? You know what I mean? Like, I just mailed it. I was getting some calls, and I'm like, well, I don't even know what I'm going to say. I'm not even going to answer these calls. And then some people was writing me back and, you know, cursing me out. I'm not selling my house and blah, blah, blah. And so I stopped after that. I'm like, hold on, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this no more. Like, you know, And I know you always say be consistent. Consistency is key. And that's once that happened in January, I'm like, I'll send up another mailing list. And it was till like June that I started doing that. And I'm like, man, it's getting expensive. These stamps are 50 cents a stamp. It's getting too expensive. And the returns I'm getting is not the best. Everybody wants retail. And then I started looking at more videos, and I started people doing. I heard of a word called skip trace. I'm like, well, what is skip trace? So I started like digging into these videos, and it was somebody that was talking about cold calling. So okay, so back I have some cold calling experience. When I was like 15, I had my first job. I was telemarketing for the local highway patrol association, raising donations, $5, $10. So okay, I started cold calling, and then I was like, okay, but now I got to get some leads. Where am I going to get leads from? I don't want to buy for no leads on ListSource. The list I was pulling out was $2,000-$3,000. I'm like, hold on, I can't. I don't have $2,000-$3,000 to spend. So then I looked it up again, and I saw people were driving for dollars. I said, okay, what's this driving for dollars thing? And like, okay, so I just got to drive. And luckily, so now I'm selling countertops now. I sold my company back in 2017, and I'm selling countertops now as just like a salesman. So I have a lot of flexible time. My time is very flexible. So I just get in my truck, start putting on your YouTube podcast, YouTube videos on my car while I'm driving, just listening, and I start taking down notes. Looking at houses, and I set a goal like, okay, I'm gonna go this week and get at least 100 houses for the week. And once I got that, I came back to the house and I started skip tracing them. I used freepeoplesearch.com or something like that. So because I couldn't afford a skip trace at the time, like, no, you know what? I'm not gonna pay for a skip trace because it was minimum of 100 or something like that. So I just started skip trace. It just takes so much time, but I was like, you know what? Just go ahead and do it. And drive for dollars. Got this lead. Found this house. It was beat up. It's been abandoned for about 7-8 years. Called the owner. Found out it was his mom's house. She had passed away 7 or 8 years ago, and he was trying to sell it. I met him out there, And the first time I went, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. So I met him up there. We started talking. The guy had like a very defensive attitude. Asked a lot of questions, which luckily I've been in sales, so I kind of like, BS my way around, made it happen. And then he wanted to sell it. And I put it on the con, and he said he wanted to sell it. I couldn't get anything concrete until about, so I saw that house. I drove for dollars in October. And I finally got it in a contract in December because he was taking care of the probate, because I think him and his sister were fighting for the property. So finally, they gave him the probate papers, documents, and he was a rightful owner. And we finally closed it last week.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. So now my questions. So Jamie, my question for you, dude, is that you went and drive for dollar. How long did you do that for until you came across this deal?
So I started driving for dollars like in September,
and
then I had got a lot. I got a long list, and I say I have about 100 addresses, but at the time I was skip tracing them myself, so I was looking for the numbers myself. And so that takes a lot of time. So basically what I was doing, I was just writing down the address, and then I would go on the appraiser's website and find the person who owns it. And then from there, I would skip trace that number on the free search. So I would say it took me about 2 weeks to get 100 names, and I was doing it about an hour to 2 hours a day, 2 times a week at that time.
Wow. Okay. So you're saying, so you driving for dollars, you're looking for, okay. I just want to understand. I understand you correctly. You drive for dollars, and then when you see these vacant property or properties that you feel like that is a potential deal, right? Then what you're doing is that you're writing down the address, and then you go home and skip trace them, or do you have some address and then you go drive by these property?
Right. So I drive around neighborhoods and I write the addresses down and then I go back home and I skip trace them myself.
Gotcha. Okay. And when you were driving for dollars, Jamie, what were you looking for? Like, how do you know? So that way other people would know.
Yeah, so basically what I look for is I like boarded up houses. That's what I mainly look for, like boarded up houses, tall grass, um the roof has that blue tarp on
Yeah.
it, messed up blinds, dirty doors, old cars that have flat tires in the front. The mailbox is all jam packed, sidings falling off. I mean, just pretty much, I'm looking for houses that you think people wouldn't live there, right?
Yep.
Those are houses that I'm looking for.
Gotcha. Okay. So within 2 weeks you got about 100 names.
Yes.
Okay, so you got about within 2 weeks of driving for a dollar, you got about 100 addresses, and then you go and then you skip trace them one by one. And what were you using to skip trace?
So I was using at the time freepeoplesearch.com,
Okay, and okay, and
and
then you
lucky,
would call them.
yes. Then I would call them. I would call the numbers. Most of the numbers on that website, it's not very good. I mean, they're like one out of, I'll say about 20-30% numbers are good. Luckily, this was one of them. And now
Gotcha,
that
man.
I,
So
yeah.
okay, so you got the seller on the phone now. The seller, is he in the state? Is he living there? The property, is it vacant, occupied, rented, or is he out of state?
So that property is actually vacant. Was actually vacant for 7 years. And I contacted him, and I contacted his secretary because he had like a plumbing company, and
Oh,
so he wanted he was she said that he wanted to sell.
oh
I
wow.
think
Okay.
he had recently gone through a divorce, and he was just trying to get rid of that property that he inherited from his mom, which he wanted to fix up. But people say that all the time, and they just let time go by and they don't even worry about it. And it was just rotting there for 7 years. It was, I mean, it was my first house, but it was one of the worst houses I've ever seen.
Gotcha, man. Okay, so now what I want to know is that, so what was the seller asking?
So the seller actually he never gave me an offer. I mean, he never gave me a price. So he would like, well, make me an offer on it, and that's when I did my the ARV calculation formula that the wholesalers use. Most of the wholesalers use, and so I just like, okay, whatever number they gave me, just subtract another 20,000.
Okay.
So at
So
mhm.
so what was your offer to the seller?
So I offered him 90,000.
And what was the ARV?
So I came up with an ARV of around 215,000, and
Okay. And
then
what was the rehab?
it needed about 50,000.
Okay. And how many bedroom and bathroom?
It's 2 bedroom, 1 bath,
Square footage?
990 square feet.
Okay, 990 square feet. And I guess it needs a complete roof, windows. I mean, whole thing.
Everything. Yeah, the whole
Okay.
thing.
And the reason you guys, I'm asking this is so you know when you come across the same property, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, 900 to 1,000 square feet, you know that it's roughly going to cost you that much if the seller say, hey, it needs complete rehab. All right. That's why I ask these questions. So take notes for those of you who say, oh, I don't know how to calculate, rehab costs. Just get a rough estimate.
Yes.
Okay. So the seller didn't know what he want for the property. Now, did you make an offer on the first call, second call? Like what?
So whenever I got him on the phone is when I made the offer. Uh, I was gonna meet with them, but before I met, he like, well, how much you offer it? And I told him 90,000, and he sounded interested. Okay, well, I'll meet you there at the property. So then when I offered that, like, dang, did I just offer him too much? Because this sounds way too easy. Like he can't already try to accept it, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I went, but I had already done like my numbers, and come to find out, whenever I tried to sell the property, my numbers were off a little bit. But I mean, it didn't affect it, being that I was always in sales, so that kind of have a little leverage on it, helped me out to talk to him.
Nice, man. Okay, so you make a verbal offer to the seller about 90K. Seller seemed interested, so you set an appointment to go meet at the property.
Yes,
Okay, so you went and meet the seller at the property, and got it locked up for what
90
price?
90,000.
So that's when you confirm it, 90,000, ready to go. And
Mm-hmm.
did he sign the contract right on the spot?
No. So that happened around October that we've actually met him. And he's like, well, make me your best and highest offer. And in my head, I'm like, well, I already gave you my offer. I thought we were agree on it. He's like, no, I got another investor coming from California. Gonna look at it today. And I'm like, okay. So then he's like, hey man, the other guy came in, but he's offering me 110,000 for it. But I like you better. You know, the guy's like real cocky. He's like, the guy was real cocky, so I don't want to deal with them. I want to deal with you guys. I'm like, okay. Well, my offer's 90,000. He goes, yeah. And then he's like, but I have to get this under my name because it wasn't under his name legally. So he couldn't sign anything yet.
Okay.
So he was still in probate court. And then he finally, so he's like, yeah, give me about a week. My lawyer's working on that stuff, and we could get it under contract.
Okay.
So then it took about more than a week. It took about 3 weeks. He finally called me like, hey, I finally got it under my name. We're ready to go. So I'm thinking, okay, let's go get the contract signed. So I'm like, hey, where are you at? And I go, well, I'm at my house. Come meet me at my house. So I got out. It was about on a Wednesday, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Got out in my car, drove to his house, and had the contract. And here you go. Here's the contract. Let's sign it. He goes, okay. And he just started talking to me. Like, he was talking to me for a while. So I'm like, okay, what's going on now? We're here to sign a contract. He's like, well, I have to have my lawyer look over it. And then he
Okay.
was like, okay, fine. When I told him, well, I'm gonna go grab lunch in the area. I'll be back in an hour. Cause he's like, give me about an hour. I'm gonna have my lawyer look over it. And I go, okay. So I'm like, well, let me go grab lunch and I'll come back in an hour. He calls me, hey, where's your office? So I can sign the contract. I'm like, okay. So being that I was in the granite game, selling countertops to my buddy, who's my brother-in-law, he has an office. I'm like, hey man, I'm about to go over there. I have a customer. I got a guy that I'm trying to sign a contract with. He wants to see my office. Let me borrow your office. I'll just go in there, sit in, borrow your office, and get this contract signed. He goes, yeah, sure, just come on. So we went up to the granite shop, and he let me borrow his office. He came in. We talked for a little bit, and then he's like, okay, here's the contract. It's signed. I got it for a $10 option, $100 earnest money.
Gotcha. Okay. So $100 for earnest money.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't even know what that was. I was just like $100. I had somebody that was helping me. One of my college buddies. He's into wholesaling. He was helping me through the project. So I actually JV'd this project with him. So he was telling me, like, help me out with the contract and stuff like that.
Nice, nice. Okay, you guys. I want to give you guys a little quick tip. Some of you might know this. Some of you might not know. So when a seller, there are ways to get around it. When you talk to the seller, just because you don't know how to talk on the phone and control the calls, that's why the seller asks you to go meet at the office, etc. But let's just say that you got a seller that really needs to meet at the office so they can feel confident, right, knowing that you are legit before they sign it. Let me give you a little tip. Some of you might know, some of you might not know. What you do is you do a search in your area. What they do is they actually rent out their meeting. So what they do is they rent out a meeting office per hour, and it's not that expensive. It's like, it really depends on, how new the place is, but you can get in there for like $40 an hour or $30 an hour or something like that. So they rent out their little office meeting where you can rent it out. And what they do is they have the guest service desk there and everything like that. So when the seller comes in, you are sitting in the back in the conference room. Yes, I'm sorry. That's what it's called. They rent out the conference room per hour. So you can actually go there, pay them per hour. So it's like very legit. So you sit in the conference room when the seller comes in, they ask the seller, you tell them, hey, I'm going to meet the sellers. This is their name here. When they come in, you send them back there, and that's what they do. So so check it out if that's what you really have to do. Okay. But to me, it's all about controlling the phone call, know how to talk to the seller. You can maneuver to that. Some of you guys don't know how to talk, so that's why some of that issue can come up.
Mm-hmm.
But Jamie, now you got under so you got under contract and everything like that. And how much were you marketing it for?
So I was marketing it. So originally I was marketing it for 147.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I was marketing it for 147, and then it's whenever I realized that I had made a mistake on the ARV, because I was doing the whole, half a mile from the property, same like,
Yep.
and I was getting that 215 ARV. However, in over here in Dallas, a little bit different because once you cross the street, you got these houses that are worth a lot of money, and across the street are these houses that are, okay, they're not that valuable
Mm-hmm.
as far as the ARV. So I couldn't really use those properties as my ARV. So
Okay.
really, my ARV was around 180. My actual
Gotcha.
ARV was around 180.
Okay.
So that's when I was marketing for 147. Um, so whenever I got in the contract in December, it was like about a week before Christmas or 2 weeks before Christmas. I got in the contract, and then I started marketing to some cash buyers that I had met online through Facebook. So I was emailing them. There was some interest, but nothing, no real interest, no real interest. So after the contract was going to expire on January the 6th. January the 6th is when the contract expired, and I called the customer. I mean, actually, he called me, and I was like, "Ah, man, I don't have a buyer. What am I gonna do? Like, nobody's really interested." I dropped the price down to 115. I dropped the price down to 115. I still didn't have no buyer. I resent the emails, nothing. So January 6th, he calls me like, "Hey," I'm sorry, January 4th, he called me like, "Hey, we're supposed to close on January 6th. I'm going out of town. I'm gonna have to reschedule the closing." So I was like, "Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay. So now we got to reschedule." So I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna have to extend the I because you're not here, and I have to extend it." So like for another 2 weeks. So then we extend the contract for another 2 weeks, and then so I think that the day was on January 20th or something like that. That it was a closing date, and I still didn't have no seller. So I literally I had no seller, and then he called me again when he came back in town, and he's like, "Okay, we're ready to close on the 20. I believe it was the 20th, the 28th or something like that when we actually closed." And it was literally one day before we were supposed to close that I was just, that the new contract was going to expire, and my title company, I had already submitted to the title company the documents, and they were telling me that he was already getting aggravated because we were supposed to close on the 4th, on the 6th, and we just kept pushing it and pushing it. We couldn't close. So we're literally the day before the contract expired, I just like, man, what am I gonna do? Like nobody's interested. So I just started cold calling realtors. I started cold calling realtors, and I started cold calling realtors, and then luckily I had a friend who was a realtor, and I called him up like, "Hey, man, I got this property that I'm trying to sell. Do you know any cash buyers who might be interested in it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I might have some cash buyers. My cash buyer that's interested in it." It was literally just one cash buyer that he had that might be interested. And I go, "Well, look, if I sell this property, I'll give you $2,500 finder's fee for finding me the buyer." So he's like, "Okay." And it was on a Sunday at 2:00. The buyer's like, "Hey, I'm coming from out of town. I could go look at it today." Got out of my clothes Sunday, like, "Hey, let's go to the house." Showed him. He really liked the property. Like, "Yeah, I like this area." He's a buy and hold investor. And he's like, "Okay." And and then later on, so the contract was gonna expire the next day. And then later on, he sends me a text. "Hey, my offer is 100,000. My offer is 100,000 for the property." And I was like, "Okay." And I was just so nervous, and I was like, "Oh man, should I accept 100?" Like, no, I'm not gonna accept 100, even though I already knew that the contract would expire. I like, you know what? If you give me 107.5, it's yours. And he sends back, "Sounds good. How soon can you close?" He's like, "Well, you let me know as soon as you can, and I'll close it tomorrow, if, if we can." And then after that, it would take 3 days, and we closed on the property. So I sold it for 107.5. I gave a $2,500 finder fee to the real estate agent, and then I split joint JV with the mentor that was helping me with the contracts and stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so actually, this total wholesale. Hold on a second. So the total wholesale fee is how much?
17,500.
Gotcha. Dang, bro. That's good, bro. That's good for a first one, right?
Yeah, man, that's perfect. That was really good. That's all. Like, oh man. So after that, it's like that's what's getting me motivated more. Like, hold on, if I could do it once, I could do this over and over.
Absolutely. And Jamie, man, I want to say congrats, bro. Awesome job, dude. And you guys, for those of you, for those of you who are, just starting out, or maybe you just discover wholesaling, and you watching all this video, and sometimes, you know, when people say no money, you know, experience, and you get into all that, and you can make all this kind of money, where when it sounds too good to be true, some people just discard it and not really dissect and try to figure out how they can do it. So my thing is always, you got to believe that it is possible, that there are people out there that's doing this legally and making money. So that way you can find out and start digging in how you can do it. Second is, you just got to believe that you can do it somewhat. Right? Doesn't matter your situation, your circumstances, whatever that you're in, you got to believe that you can do this too. And then 3, you just got to take massive actions, and then take whatever you learn and just implement and apply it, and just take massive actions. So Jamie, dude, congrats, bro. So how much of a non-refundable do you have the buyer put down?
So I asked for a $5,000 non-refundable, and actually, so back to the story. So we closed. So it was on the Sunday. We were supposed to close the following Monday. Not that Monday, next Monday, but the following Monday. We had already talked to the buyer to set a closing date. I'm sorry, to the original buyer, the seller. I'm sorry, and then the investor had to go out of town. So he leaves me. I told him to give me a $5,000 non-refundable check, which was my non-refundable deposit, which is my mentor was telling me to get. But he left the check, and we needed a cashier's check. And I was like, oh, shoot, I messed this up again. And then, so that was it. And then I was like, you know what? I went by like faith. I'm like, man, I was trying to get him to wire the money, but he was really busy in meetings and all that. So like, you know what? Don't worry about it. On Monday, whenever we close, we'll just get the whole total. And I just went like that. I know you shouldn't. And my mentor was like, well, we need to collect. And I'm like, man, I trust this guy. I trust him. And I just went to the closing table, and luckily everything worked out, and he ended up just paying us the whole amount.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And the thing is, you guys, I would have really dissected this a little bit more, but we are just crunching in time because my schedule got all messed up. So I just want to tell you guys one more thing, why personal check takes 7 days, I think 5 to 7 days to actually clear. So when you get your buyers to put down a non-refundable, it has to be a cashier check. That is like bringing cash to the table. All right.
Yes,
so
yes.
It got to be a cashier check, not a personal check. I made that same mistake, bro. So when I first started, dude, same mistake, bro. So I got this. So, you know, when you're trying to close within the next X amount of like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, but that personal checks need X amount of days to actually clear, you know, and also too is when they drop off the personal check, the buyer can call and really cancel that check. So It's not really like legit. So that's why it needs to be a cashier check, and cashier check is almost like cash. So anyways, Jamie, let's get this wrap up, bro. For those that wants to connect with you, bro, how can they?
You can follow me, connect with me on Instagram. That's where I'm most active at JCebal, JCEBAL, and the number 1 on Instagram.
Awesome. Is that it? Just on IG? Is that all?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Facebook. You could add me on Facebook, Jaime Ceballos, Facebook, and then also on Snapchat, JCebal1 as well.
Nice, man. You guys, so Jamie's is out in Dallas, Texas. So for those of you who's in the area, reach out, man. Network, connect, like, you know, and you can ask for tips or feedback, whatever that is you need to do. But just be sure that don't overload on informations and forget to take the actions. Now, Jamie, final word, dude. For those that are just starting out, man, we're in like your shoes and trying to get that first deal. What do you got to say to them, bro?
Man, what I gotta say is just do it. Like I spent so much time that just like thinking like I need to learn everything before I just hop into it. Learning all the videos, analysis paralysis. You know, just fear. Honestly, it's fear. Fear is the number one thing that I think holds everybody back. And once I found out, just let go of that fear, because fear is not going to pay you the bills. You know what I mean? So it's like, you just got to jump on it. They put bandit signs out, cold call, just do it. Action, take action and consistency. Those are the two. Action and consistency. You don't got to be the smartest guy in the room. You ain't got to be the most knowledgeable. You don't. You just take action, and your hustle, it'll bring you deals. I mean, it's
awesome, man. Awesome. So Jamie, when you said fear, and we're going to wrap this up after this. When you say fear, what was the biggest fear that holds you back from actually taking action, bro?
Rejection. rejection, uh, not knowing all the answers to, okay, so what happens if this happens? So literally, I was trying to get a book like, okay, if this happens, this is the answer for it. If this happens, this is the answer for it. And it's just like, you know what? Just go at it. If it happens, you'll find the answer some way or another. Trust me, when you're under pressure, you'll find the answer and you'll just make it happen.
Absolutely, absolutely agree. I absolutely agree, man. And the thing is, you guys got to understand that you cannot, like, if you stay in one spot, if you don't make a move, you don't know if you're doing it right or you're doing it wrong. If you do it wrong, then you can adjust, pivot. Like you see what I'm saying? So you can make changes, right? So you can pivot. Okay, if you're doing it wrong, then you can make changes. But if you stay in one spot, how are you gonna make like you know what I mean? Like how can you adjust? Because you haven't make a move. It's just like when you send a sailboat out into the oceans, right? That's
Right.
the sail goes up, the wind blow, and then you just got to adjust it to get to your destination. It's not going to go in a straight line. All right. So the thing is, don't stay in one spot. Make that move. And if it's wrong, trust me, you'll find a way to adjust it, adapt, and then you get to where you want it to be.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Jimmy, man, bro, I want to say thank you so much, bro, for taking your precious time to jump on to do this with me, man. And I wish you much success in 2019. Let's crush this, bro. And maybe I'll bring you back toward the end of the year and see where you're at.
Yeah, man. I just want to say one more thing, Khang. Hey, congratulations. I'll see you in Dallas. I know you're coming to the Wholesale Elite event.
Oh,
As
yeah.
a speaker.
Have you got your ticket?
I'm actually getting this week. Now that I close the deal, I could buy the ticket. I'm getting the ticket. And I look forward to seeing you, man. Meeting
Cool,
you.
man. So, hey, get the ticket and in the code, punch in Wholesale to Millions. So that way they know it's coming from the family. I'm not an affiliate. They just need to know. I just want to show them where the audience is coming from. And you guys, for those of you who haven't bought the ticket to the Dallas, Texas Maxwell event, I promise you, this event. It's not. You will not find at a seminar. You will not find at your local RIA. You will not find it anywhere else. Because you know why? What I'm doing on that day, that 3 days, is you bring your deals. We're going to freaking do your deal live. Call the seller, call the buyers. Like, I will show you exactly. We talk on the deals, right? Since I'm doing this virtually, I don't care where your deal is. As long as it's in the U.S., I don't care where your deals is, all right? And we're going to do your deals live. It's not motivating. You know, it's not about that day. It's not about me talking about motivation, inspiration stuff. It's really, because I'm doing this because I want to fulfill the promise that I promised to God when I first started. And I promised the wife when I first started. I said, man, one day, God, if you let me make it and know how to do this business, I obviously never thought about, getting opportunities to actually speak in front and share stage with some of these amazing power players. But I'm saying in one day, that I would really not like when my wife and I go to seminars, dude, when my wife and I was going to seminars and all of that, we pay money to go.
Yeah.
We were like, hey, I want to see them do deals. Like, I don't want them to talk because I said, if you like all that information I can find online, I want to see them do deals. I want to be in the experience. You know what I mean?
Right. Correct.
So a lot of times, that's where you get your experience from. It's actually being there and seeing them doing it. But none of them do it, dude. None of them get on the phone. Like, none of them do it because you know why? One, they only teach and they don't do. Second, they already train up a team. Maybe they don't do it anymore. You got to understand, I don't care how good you are, but once you stop doing it, you lose your skills.
Yep.
But let me tell you something. You're King Kong. You're Donkey Kong. I do it every single day. So bring your deals. What we're going to do is we're going to analyze your deal. If we have to call the seller, I'll call the seller back, either set you an appointment or make an offer to that seller. I don't really care. Get on the phone, talk to your buyer. I don't care because I do it every single day. I do it virtually, so I don't care where your deal is. Bring it. And if you don't have any deals, man, the experience that you get from this, you will not find at any events because trust me, like to me, maybe some of you guys have gone to an event like that. For me personally, when I first started, I've gone to so many and none of them will do what I'm about to do to you guys in Dallas, Texas, man. Man,
look forward to that, Khang.
Absolutely, man. So, and the thing is, you guys got to understand too. I always tell you guys, don't represent yourself as the buyer. Represent yourself as part of the team. right? Part of a group of investment. So when you don't have an answer, you don't have to get all worried about it, because you keep on thinking, you know, when I get on the phone with these sellers, I'm the professional, I'm the pro, I'm the buyer, I'm the one that do this for a living. I have a company, but if I don't have an answer to them, right? Like they're going to think like I'm a scam. And so basically, so the excuse of when you're just an employee, you have an excuse to not have an answer to it, because all you're doing is that, you know what I mean? So at the Granite, right? Jamie owned the Granite company. He probably knows all the answer to all the questions that the client do, right? Because he's the owner. So as a sales rep or one of his team member, it's okay. It's not a big deal if they don't have an answer, right?
Yeah.
So so think of it like that. So that way, when the seller tells you something you don't know, so that way you don't have to get all riled up, all worried. If you don't know, tell them, sorry, I don't have an answer to that, but I will definitely pass this on to my senior reps or my team manager, you know, to get you an answer for it, and then move on to the next questions. Anyways, you guys, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, hit me up on IG, Khang, KHANG.WTM. Haven't subscribed to the family. Let's go, man. Smash the subscribe button.
Let's do it.
Let's take our life or business, you guys, to a whole nother level. And if you're going to be in Dallas, Texas, I'll see you guys there. Thanks, Jamie. Ciao, bro.
Thank you,